Welcome to the Own Your Family, where real stories and proven formulas are shared about leaving the rat race so you can achieve freedom and spend more quality time with your family. Get ready, mompreneurs and dadpreneurs, to get inspired by earning from home, living healthy, and aspiring for more in life with your hosts, Renat and Katrina.
Crypto is inevitable. Bitcoin is almost to computers what quantum mechanics is to physics. Naval Ravikant. Why is crypto emerging right now? Some people think it's just a fad. They are wrong. Crypto is part of a 5,000-year historical trend. The more you zoom out, the more obvious this becomes. Nearly every industry in history is following the same historical trend. Theism, a belief that a higher power will solve our problems. To humanism, it's a belief that humans will solve our problems. To dataism, a belief that data will solve our problems. Each successor solved problems that their forebears not only couldn't solve but often created. Crypto is taking money out of the hands of humans and putting it into the hands of cryptographically provable math, dataism. Since this is a book about money, the bubble that never pops, let's look at the trends and problems in money. From barter to precious metals, to government-controlled currencies, to where we are now, we will see that in the history of money, the demand for a database currency solves critical problems that must be addressed in the decades and generations ahead. First things first. Crypto is a natural evolution of money. Human error and frailty and weakness will be the downfalls of traditional currency, and they has already begun. Think about it. I want to send money to Joe. Many things have to now happen. I tell my local bank, they tell the local reserve bank, they tell the Federal Reserve, who quietly also tells the IRS. The Federal Reserve tells the central bank of Joe's country, who then tells Joe's local bank, and finally Joe goes to his ATM and takes out the money. Well, let's break down what just happened. First, 6 discrete steps occurred. There was the possibility of human error at every step. There were also transaction costs at every step. These transaction costs are the built-in inflation of a centralized banking system. Second, James and Joe lost all rights to the privacy of the value they have spent their lives creating. Think IRS, NSA, FBI, CIA, DEA, or DIA. Maybe it doesn't matter to them, but sometimes it does. Not only is human error a risk, but humans control the value they sent. Hidden transaction costs are baked into every step of the system. And there are also the various black boxes inherent in centralized banking systems. For instance, how much new money is the Federal Reserve printing today? We simply don't know. They don't tell us every way in which they create new money without permission. Value is determined by supply and demand. What happens to the value of your hard-earned money if people you don't know and have no faith in are completely deciding supply and then value without your knowledge or permission? The philosophy of cryptocurrency. I'm not a money conspiracy theorist. These issues have always existed, and these issues have toppled empires, but so far, the United States has proven superior to the fallen and forgotten. Hopefully, that will always be true. but history says it won't always be true. When and where, and why and how are not known. All we know is direction. Direction is the philosophy of cryptocurrencies. With Bitcoin, there are thousands of copies of the blockchain running all around the world. Anyone who has a copy of it can do a full validation of the transactions in the full chain. Historically, it was the central bank that validated the transactions. Now, blockchain allows everyone on the network to have a copy and autonomously validate all of the transactions together. You can see how this not only eliminates the need for a central bank, but also the need for human intermediaries at all. Let's look at the 5 main philosophies of a cryptocurrency. Number 1, security. If James sends money to Joe, Joe gets it. Number 2, decentralize. There are no geographic borders to the currency. Number 3, anonymity. Nobody needs to know about my transaction. Number 4, forgery. This is really the same as A, but in some situations slightly different. If James sends money to Joe and Joe sends to Bob, Bob can trust that the money is not forged by someone along the way. There is no duplicate money. And number 5, controlled supply. It should always be known by every party how much supply exists and under what conditions supply would stop. And in probably every case, supply should have a maximum. For instance, the maximum number of bitcoins that will ever be mined is 21 million bitcoins. Dataism and Money 2.0. There is another aspect of cryptocurrency that has never before been seen in civilization. This aspect exists only because of the rise of data. You can make a currency that also has a function, much like an app on a phone. I'm not going to get into the details of that right here because I want to stick to the basics. But we will talk about it later in this book in more detail. I will say this. Possible applications in the cryptocurrency space, meaning the functionality is built into the data itself, includes data storage, the Internet of Things, digital healthcare, escrows and wills, and on and on. The implications are hard to understate, positively massive.
Thanks for listening. Join our online family by signing up for your free account at www.ownyourfamily.com and begin your journey to freedom. Want to get there faster? Book a strategy call with us at ownyourfamily.com/book a call. As always, be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to our podcast and channel so you never miss a future episode.